We're hanging out with Patriots legend, my guy, Tedy Bruschi. Tedy joining us on behalf of global healthcare leader Abbott. Abbott, he's a three-time Super Bowl champion, wearing one of the rings. This past year, Tedy teamed with Abbott to help launch Heartmates, a community for people impacted by cardiovascular conditions. You can learn more and join the Heartmates team. Visit abbott.com/Heartmates. We'll get into that in a second because I want to talk to you about that. I know it's important work.
Great.
First, got to play a game, okay? It's a card game. It's called What's in the Tarot Cards. So I'm going to lay out three cards. Yeah, tarot cards. We're going to do a little reading here.
Go.
I lay out three cards. You pick whichever one you want. I'll flip it over, and there's a question that corresponds with it. So
let's go to the middle.
He goes with the middle. Easy choice here. And he gets the moon. And the moon is about intuition and dreams. So
that's my guy, Randy Moss.
I know. Look at that. You only work with him every day. Like, let Randy know we turned him into a card.
Yeah.
All right. Intuition and dreams, when you look into the future for the New England Patriots, a franchise you know incredibly well.
Okay.
Vrabel, with the future of the Patriots, what do you see?
I still see some growing pains next year. I mean, I hope that they're competitive in December where they maybe can make one of those 7-6 seed teams. I don't know. But right now they need a lot that needs to be done to help them. And I want to see the development of Drake and Josh McDaniels, possibly knowing this is nowhere close to Tom Brady right now. So develop him based on his talents.
How hard, and I'm not even, like, for fans it's impossible. I'm even talking about for an organization. You go from being Tom Brady, guys that just won every single year, to now living the way the rest of the world lives, like trying to figure out what the future looks like. How hard is that for just the organization to adjust to?
Yeah, it's hard for sort of former players like myself to adjust, to watch what's been going on there the last few years, and just the exit of Bill, the firing of Gerard Mayo, and then just giving him 1 year, and then Vrabel coming back. It's like, fellas, we know the formula, right?
Yeah.
You've seen this for 20 years. Let's get this right and do the right things to build a football team. Are they back on the right track now? We'll see.
That's amazing. All right, we're going to lay out three more. You can pick whichever one you want.
Let's go middle.
He goes middle. All right, we may have found a trend, and this time he gets the High Priestess. I think this is the first time that this card has ever been pulled. All right, the High Priestess is about mystery, and I'm going to ask you about Bill, because you just mentioned your time with Bill.
Okay.
But when I talk to players that played for him, I hear about the funny side. I hear about the different things we didn't say. Who is, if you were sitting in front of a panel and you had to tell everybody who Bill Belichick is, what would your answer be?
He's rarely funny.
Okay.
I would not say that. And I don't mind saying that. And the man's all business, really. That's all it's about, and that's all I ever needed him for. You tell me how to win football games. That's all I want. I got my family at home. I got my wife and kids at home. I got a life. But when I'm here, we're going to win football games, and that's what he was about. I mean, there were a couple funny things I could probably talk about that he did over the course of my 9 years with him, but I mean, especially he's been in the media this year a little bit too, and he's tried to put on the funny hat and all this stuff, and I think it's weird.
I have this thought in my head of a kid at North Carolina having to walk into Bill's office because he missed class or didn't turn in his homework, and I just don't feel like that goes well with him.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be handled by Bill, but this is the man here's the CEO, and then we got all these little soldiers who are going to deal with all this drama. But Bill's going to get North Carolina on the right track.
There's never a doubt. We'll deal three more out. What do you got?
I was a middle child, man.
He's going for this. This is consistent. He gets strength at this one. Okay.
All
Courage and bravery. Let's talk a little bit. I mean, courage and bravery is tough in a football world. So I want to couch all of this with the context of football. But when you think about the guys that you knew on game day, other than Tom, you knew on game day we're going to be that guy that had that it factor that just lifted the whole team up.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah, I think of a lot of people on Roman Pfeiffer. I think of Willie McGinnis. I think of Rodney Harrison. Early in my career, Laurie Malloy was with me. So I'm naming all guys on defense, aren't I? Let's go Joe Andruzzi. I mean, Troy Brown, Kevin Falk, a lot of those guys that, I mean, I didn't even name Tom Brady. You know what I mean? In terms of just gamers that I knew would be there all the time. So
now I'm going to take that, I'm going to move it to this game we're about to see. Okay. Because for all the conversation we have about Kansas City and whether they get help from all the things that we talk about, Kansas City's full of a bunch of guys that have been here so many times. It feels reminiscent of that. Like, if you're the Eagles, how do you take down a team that's been here so many times and has a bunch of gamers? For what? I mean, okay, so let's just focus on one matchup here, right? I mean, one of the players that I love the most on the Kansas City offense is Joe Thuney. One of the best all-pro left guards that there's been.
and now he's playing left tackle. And now they bring Caliendo at left guard to take his place, so that's a weaker side. That side's got to be exploited. I mean, I'd put Jalen Carter over there. You got Nolan Smith, I think the edge rusher, anybody. You got to take advantage of it. The Chiefs have been able to get away with Joe Thuney at left tackle. How can you let them get away with that in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
because I mean, he's a great player, but he's not a left tackle.
Right.
I mean, Will Anderson Jr. showed that when they played the Texans. And they got to show that again.
All right, give us a card. What do you got for us next?
What do you think?
I think he's going to go middle. Yeah. I think I've found the consistency here. The middle comes with the chariot, which is victory and success.
Yeah.
Okay, let's couch victory and success around Super Bowls, right? Because we're trying to have a real conversation about Mahomes and what that means for Brady, or not for Brady, what that means for Lamar and Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, the guys that don't get a Super Bowl ring, right? How are we supposed to factor Super Bowls into legacy conversations when you're in the same era, you lived it, when you're in the same era as one of, if not the greatest of all time?
Yeah, that's a new conversation because of all the numbers and spectacular play you're seeing from Lamar and Joe and Josh and those type of guys. But you're going to be judged if you ever get through. And Peyton ended up getting through us eventually in 06. That 06 team, when they beat us in the AFC Championship game, we all knew they were going to beat the Chicago Bears in the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman. Sorry, Chicago. But that's just the way we felt. Peyton ended up doing it, and then he ended up getting another one too. So that's why Peyton's talked about as being as great as a lot of them. So eventually, Josh, Joe, Lamar, it's just going to have to be done.
They're going to have to get that.
You have to do it.
All right, let's get one more in before we talk to you about why you're really here. All right.
Okay.
I think he's going to go middle, and the middle comes to the lovers. All right, the lovers is about relationships. What's the group text look like for you on game days here with all the former players that you played with? Like, y'all talking, like, is there trash talking going around for the guys you played with? Like, what's your Sunday look like from a fan standpoint?
There is. I mean, there's a big, my text group probably mainly is the group on Sunday NFL Countdown when we're watching the games and from our various different places and doing that and what we think of games. You know, Rex Ryan chiming in and Alex Smith and Randy Moss. Greenberg's chiming in too, but also, I mean, I got group texts with all my former players that I played with.
But I know that Sunday Countdown crew. Let's be honest for a second. Bigger pain in the ass, Randy Moss or Rex? Come on, just answer. I mean,
Rex gives me a lot of shit sometimes. He's pretty good at it. Yeah.
That is amazing. Okay, you're here with Abbott. I know that this means a lot to you. Talk to me. Like, what are you here for, and why is it? Tell everybody why it means so much.
All right, I'm here to promote Heartmates, which is a community we're trying to create that all heart survivors and stroke survivors, any cardiovascular event that you may have, that you can have a community of support. It's new. I've been connected to Abbott for 20 years because after my stroke in 2005, I had a device put in my heart so I could play football and complete my comeback, and it's an Abbott device. So I'm not here pumping any type of soft drink or energy drink or anything like that. This is real life to me, and this is about when you're coming back from something that's medically important in terms of cardiovascular, heart, stroke, anything. Our Abbott Heartmates team is there for you. It's a community that somebody else may have the same device as me. Somebody else may have had a heart event that someone they can talk to, that they know the answers to the questions and they can answer. What did you go through? How did it go for you? To have that type of source is invaluable, and that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, community means so much in crisis, so it's really beautiful that you're doing it. Again, you guys can check out abbott.com/heartmates. Teddy, always appreciate you, brother.